What's going on, trainers? Dom from the Otaku Room here. Episode 86 of Pokemon Horizons. Wow, wow, wow. This show once again proves how much in love I am with the Pokemon world. Like, I've known it since the moment that I've laid my beautiful little childlike eyes on the Pokemon world. But once again, I am just infatuated with the world of Pokemon. And I think one of the very unique things that Pokemon Horizons has done is really focus on the kids and their growth. And don't get me wrong, I felt it in Ash's journey, right? But the way that he was depicted as a character was always overcoming adversity with not a lot of thought behind it. And although he was a pretty good to very good Pokemon trainer, it took a long time for him to really own up to all those challenges that he really came up to and really show what he had in his merit. Now, that's not to devalue Ash whatsoever. I love Ash. Ash Ketchum, one of the greatest, one of my favorite Pokemon anime characters of all time. But I just think one of the unique things that Pokemon Horizons done is show the growth of Liko, show the growth of Roy, and show the growth of Dot. And it was here in spades this episode with them overcoming, three villainistic type characters and overcoming them with not terastallizing themselves. I think that's one of the main things here is that they took on, Florigato, took on a Pokemon and overcame a Pokemon in Garganacl with no terastallization herself, right? And Roy also, with his Achigator, with his Pokemon, also overcame a Pokemon, in Screamtail or Crocolore or whatever, overcame a Screamtail without terastallizing themselves once again. So I just think that just shows the massive growth of Liko, of Dot, and of Roy, that they were able to strategize and overcome these battles with just using their wits, right? Florigato doing acrobatics, Florigato doing a sneak attack, Florigato taking out Garganacl's feet, using that to get a really big, magical leaf on Garganacl. I think it was just so cool. And on top of all these characters' growth, the thing that I love the most, and the reason I said I'm so in love with this world, is I just love how they solve everything through Pokemon battling. I know I've said it over and over and over again before of just how I'm always in shock and awe of so many different ways that the explorers could get one over on the kids, or how, they could get any of these folks out of their way with other means, more violent means. But regardless, the world is so pure that they all solve their issues with Pokemon battles, right? Like, even if someone was going to go steal some lady's purse, he would battle her for her purse first. So I just think, and that sounds so silly, but I just absolutely love the pride that everybody has in this world, that, even if they're villains, they're still going to solve their villainy, or they're trying to accomplish their villainy through Pokemon battles. And it's just so ingrained in everyone's mind and culture and everything around the world. And it's definitely around the world, because if you think about all the regions that we've been through that have represented, France or America or Japan or a variety of different other places in the world, they all solve their issues the same way. And it's just such a cool thing. It's so refreshing. So I just love that, even though that they were trying to stop Roy and Dot and Liko from getting to the Recurium place, I love how even though Spinel was trying to waste time and stop Friede from getting any further, that they all solved it by Pokemon battles. So I'm just so in love with that. And let's talk about Friede and Spinel. So Friede got to fight his Umbreon, and I love that he was able to overcome Spinel by just outwitting him and simply, out training him, with the, I guess we can call it with the strategy, that he ended up coming up with. So I just love that he was able to, overcome these two legitimate, really strong Pokemon with just having a really good strategy between himself, between Charizard and between Pikachu, and he was able to just really like trust in these characters or in his Pokemon, and he was able to kind of like really overcome them. So I really love that quite a bit. And I love that, at the end of it too, the thing that I found really interesting as well too was the fact that, as soon as the battle was done and was over with Spinel, Spinel got the F out of there, and then the next things ended up happening with the Recurrium. So that's going to lead me into my next really how do you say it? My next kind of point here is I really love our preview for next week. So now that the three, now Roy, Dot, and Liko have overcome, and they've kind of overcome the explorers. Obviously, there might still be a little back ways there. Friede overcame Spinel. We have next episode where it looks like the Recurrium or the Laquium is actually kind of going out of control. And at the end of the episode, Terapagos came out of their ball. And we were left with, with this preview at the end here, where it looks like there is some, wrong one. It looks like there is, something happening with all of the Recurrium, all of the Laquium, where it looks like they're coming out of the ball. So Terapagos goes in, and he's like, hey, it looks like a lot of the Laquium is, breaking up. And obviously right there, if you guys saw, we can see that, there's somebody breaking in there. And we obviously know it looks like there's Lucius. So again, we have to assume it's like a Han Solo situation to where Lucius was just, stuck in the Recurrium, stuck within the Laquium, kind of crystallized for the last 100 years, which is a crazy thing to think about. Last thing I'll kind of touch on, for the episode, and we'll just kind of stick, I'll just kind of stick with these things that happen here. I'll just kind of stick with these little preview screens behind me right now. But one of the other things I wanted to discuss too that happened, is the explorers, during the episode, when they were facing down Liko and Roy and stuff, they were admitting to the group that, yeah, we've known where Lakua or Rakua, whatever Laqua is. We've known it the whole time. We were just not able to get in, and they were actually searching for Terapagos this whole time for the last 100 years. Gibeon's been looking after or trying to find and discover where Terapagos is to break the seal so that he could live even longer. So I thought that was just a cool thing that, they finally admitted it. And Spinel admitted it too, to Friede as well, kind of during this same point and same time. So just an awesome episode of Pokemon. So can't wait to see more, guys. I'll see you guys for episode number 87 as we look to Lucius finally being released from his Recurrium prison. All right, my friends, I'll see you guys then. Peace out.